I'm going to show you resource lists in Follett Destiny. You will learn what they are, how to create a list, add resources to the list, and also how to generate citations from a list. I have already logged into Destiny. Right now I'm in what I call the regular or classic view of Destiny and logged in as a teacher. In order to create a list or select a particular list to add to or change, you need to be in this view of Destiny. To work with resource lists, go to the Catalog tab. There is an option on the left-hand side for resource lists. Select that option. You will see that it opens to My Lists view. You can keep track of lists for your own reading, resources that you are using professionally, resources that you use in your teaching and want students to use, etc. When you create a list, even when it is made public, you will see the list under My List because you created it and have rights to edit it. If a list is public, students will go to Public Lists to view it. Public lists are viewable by anyone who is logged into Follett Destiny. Let's look at the public list for OH as an example. We started creating some lists in the spring of 09-10 when we first got Destiny. Here are several lists. Most of these are related to curriculum being taught either in the Media Center or in classrooms. Students can go to these teacher-created lists and return to these lists as needed. Teachers have the lists and can add or edit them as time passes and curriculum and projects change. Grade level teams can even have lists that they all direct students to use. To create a list, you go to the Catalog tab, which we're already on, Resource Lists, and under My List, there's an option to select Add List. You will then name your list. Let's call this one Animal Research. We'll add third grade after it. I'm not going to add a description for this list, but I am going to decide whether I want it to be public or not. If I don't make it public, students can't use it. So if students are using it, I should have it as public when I'm ready to actually have it out there for them. I'll save that, and now I see that this list is here. Now it's time to add resources to this list. You can add resources either from library materials or online resources or both. We're going to start with the library materials. I'm going to go to Library Search. Maybe one of the animals that I want to have resources for is wolves. I'm going to do a keyword search on wolves. And then I can go through the search results and add books that I think would be helpful for students in my class to use to do research on wolves. And then, if I want to add websites or web resources, I could go to WebPath Express and search and add. But because I've already searched wolves, I can go right to the Websites tab here, and it knows to bring up the websites on wolves, and then I can add those. So I can just click here, Add to this list, and then these can be sites that students use as part of their resources. I'm going to go back to the resource list and view it. And I want to show that you can go between library materials and online resources very easily within that list. When you're adding things to your list, the only thing to make sure is that that is a selected list, because you can select a different list that you have created and add the resources to the wrong list. One nice thing in these lists is that you're able to generate citations. And if you go to the bottom of either the online or the library materials part of the list, you can go down here and say Go, and it will generate citations. This models for students how to properly cite sources, as we want to teach them that stating what resources they use is important. This is not always easy to teach, but Destiny has it built in. So we've already viewed the citation list for the websites, and students could either copy or paste these into projects they're doing, or maybe you as a teacher would copy and paste them to model that for students, depending on what grade level they're at and kind of where their abilities are. We can do the same thing for library materials. Go down to the bottom, generate a citation list, or you have the option of doing a bibliography. This one I chose to have the notes there, but you could simply keep the notes off of it as well. One last thing I want to show you is that these lists are accessible in the other view of Destiny, which is Destiny Quest. And this is very graphic. Students like Destiny Quest. And so when we're on the Destiny Quest homepage, resource lists have a very prominent spot right on that homepage. Right in the center, you see resource lists. Here's the list that we created. Here are the library titles we put in it. Here are the websites. If you want to generate citations from Destiny Quest, you go to Print Options, and that works for either library titles or websites. You select your MLA citation list and print preview them, and then use them as needed. I hope that you will find resource lists valuable tools for assisting with teaching and organizing of resources. If you have further questions, please see your school media specialist for assistance. Thank you.